Banga. Baby, Mama just called me now. She's coming to see you. She asked me to tell you to make banga soup for her. And she's close to the house. Oh.
How do you expect me to prepare banga in just few minutes?
I have a solution for you.
Really?
If you sabi cook the banga, you're not going to enter my family.
Pali banga is used in making other exotic dishes such as banga jollof rice, banga eforiro, banga asaro or yam porridge, banga egusi, and many more. Pali banga is easy to open, no preservatives, no cholesterol, and no coloring. Approved by NAFDAC. Manufactured by Pali Agro Products Limited. Available in all leading stores and supermarkets nationwide.
Pali banga, natural palm fruit extracts for tasty African cuisine.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry.
It's a beautiful Friday morning right here on iBrand Daybreak. I'm excited to be on your screens this morning. Welcome to your favorite television show where we bring you up to speed on the latest happenings in Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world, reaching you live from Lagos, Nigeria. I am Margaret Opera. A lot of things are happening on social media. A lot of things are happening in Nigeria, everywhere. But then today on the show promises to be super amazing because we are going to be dissecting these things right here on the show. And joining me to do that, I have with me.
Good morning, Samson.
Good morning. Is my name now Samson?
No, you said joining me, so you know I'm Samson.
How are
the name
you?
Hasn't changed.
Yeah, I know the name hasn't changed. Amazing name, Samson.
I'm all right. I'm good. A bit, cold this morning.
Yeah, somehow it's cold. You know, the weather is, I don't know if I'll say it's confusing because this minute everywhere it's hot, then maybe if the office is cold, maybe that's what you say, not necessarily cold environment.
But you know, with this weather again, you know, there's also the possibility of getting infected in terms of influenza bout and all of that. So all of these things are in play. But hey, we're here to do this.
I like the way here because that's an adage that says the show must go on. But now let's talk about
show must go on.
Something broke on the news yesterday. The organ harvesting thing. You know, it's quite. I don't know. That's a shameful thing you would say for someone of that caliber, a public office holder, a public figure in a country like Nigeria, having to be involved in something like that. A lot of reactions has come up. People have a lot of things. Let me just get your thoughts.
Well, quite shameful. Such acts, you know, are prevalent in Southeast Asia. You really do not have them in Africa. That's not to say they are not happening as well. But for someone like that, you know, you want to raise questions. Really, he has you know, the money to get a donor. He has the influence. Again, I don't know what the situation is based on the sketchy details we have. You know, we'll just make do with that. But from what we have, if true, again, remember the allegations, but if true, then it's really ridiculous what has happened. I mean, yes, there's the need for, you know, maybe an organ transplant, but why take someone else, you know, a young boy or a young child now, you know, over there? Why not get look around for donors? Hospitals, you know, tend to have these things. What's going to cost is money. And for someone like him, as I said, he has the money. So you want to raise questions as to what was the motive behind, you know, taking the child, forging passport and all of that.
Again, having to put Nigeria in the bad lights.
Really bad light.
What we're trying to salvage.
You know how it's bad because this is someone who was still, you know, weeks ago in the race to become the governor of his state, Enugu State. So you're looking at someone who is a 7th senator, deputy Senate president 3 times, which is unprecedented in the history of the nation. Is been at literally the top of, you know, politics in the country. So such a person being immersed in this is you know, terrible for the image of the country, really. I really hope that, you know, justice is served at the end of the day.
Yeah,
because
justice has to be served, because now I'm sure international communities would be interested in this, because it's not a very nice thing for Nigeria, especially with the name we've been called over the years and the fact that we are trying. Exactly.
You know, we're trying to clean up the image from, a nation filled with, you know, fraudsters and all of that and all. Yeah, and then you now have this. It's ridiculous. I really hope that justice is served. And I hope that going forward we do not have such, you know, bad images, you know, talking about the global stage, because we can't continue this way. Several Nigerians have been denied, you know, basic rights simply because they're Nigerians, and that's based on, you know, bad images, precedents and all of that. You look at the way things are now. You want to do genuine business with someone abroad, and then the person is skeptical. Oh, you're from Nigeria, you know. It doesn't help. Well, there's that stereotypical notion already that most likely a fraud. So this doesn't even, you know, aid you know, the struggle to correct those stereotypical notion that most people have about Nigerians. So I really hope that justice is served and this ends well. Luckily enough, this is, you know, abroad. You want to trust the judicial process there to a very large extent.
Sad enough that we have to trust the judicial process better, you know.
Former Delta State Governor James Ibori had how many charges? 171? And it was cleared of everything. Well, we know what happened when, you know, they found himself.
All right, no, you know, if we dwell on this, we'll keep dwelling. So just tell us what we have on the show.
So much to expect on the show today. You can rest assured we'll keep you abreast of what's happening globally when it comes to the news update segment. Samuel Okata will do that just in a bit. We'll also keep you informed of the stories making our dailies this morning. We'll definitely have a guest on standby to address topical issues that concern you and I, not just as Nigerians, but also as humans. We'll keep you abreast of what's happening in the world of sports and how Nigerians as well are reacting to social trends within the social space, and leaving you, you know, on an inspiring note with a quote for the day. This is iBrand Daybreak. It's time to keep you abreast of what's happening globally. Samuel, it's over to you.
All right, Samson, good morning and many thanks. Hello and welcome to News Update. Here are top stories we're reporting at this hour. Nnamdi Kanu, the imprisoned leader of the banned indigenous people of Biafra, was denied bail by President Major General Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday. He claimed that Kanu, who is now on trial, was given every chance allowed by the law to defend all the unfavorable comments uttered against Nigeria while he was in Britain. At the same time, he reaffirmed his intention to step down in May 2023 to make way for the next administration. The president made this declaration during a bilateral discussion with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the sidelines of the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda, according to a statement from his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina. Now, Ike Ekwemadu, a former deputy Senate president, and his wife, Beatrice, have been taken into custody by the specialist crime team of the Metropolitan Police in London. They were detained on suspicion of planning to harvest a child's organ who is currently in protective custody. In accordance with the 2015 Modern Slavery Act of the United Kingdom, the pair might be sentenced to a maximum of life imprisonment, 12 months in jail, a fine, or both upon summary conviction. A person who violated Section 1 or 2 was subject to life imprisonment upon conviction on an indictment and upon summary conviction to a period of imprisonment not to exceed 12 months, a fine, or both. In response to a request for humanitarian aid from the United Nations and others, Taiwan will provide $1 million to Afghan earthquake recovery operations, the government announced late on Thursday. The government of Taiwan would donate based on the spirit of humanitarian concerns for disaster relief regardless of national borders and responding to the United Nations and other humanitarian demands, according to a statement from the presidential office. After speaking with other nations and taking into account the difficulty of transportation, Taiwan will not send search and rescue teams, office spokesperson Zhang Chang noted. And that's it on the news update at this hour. Many thanks for staying with us. Over to you now, Samson.
Thank you very much. We'll go on a short break right now. When we return, it will be time to take the stories making our national dailies this morning.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Photography business is a very competitive industry. Every year, thousands of talented photo lovers consider turning their passion into a money-making business venture. especially in a fiercely competitive marketplace like Nigeria, in which it is very easy for anyone to buy a digital camera and call themselves a professional photographer. According to some practitioners, a new photographer who wants a standard studio can start with a budget of 3.5 million naira. However, one can start with a lower budget of about 500,000 to 1 million naira depending on the tools and cost of rent. On the average, the cost of photography equipment is around 294,790 naira. However, the price ranges from around 41,000 naira to as high as 2.46 million naira. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people with a vibrant movie industry that produces 50 movies per week, generating annual revenue of approximately $590 million from between 2016 and 2021, helping the photography industry as a whole, according to a recent research by the UN.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
Glad to know you're still with us. If you're just joining in, this is still live on Daybreak, and now it's time to review some top stories making it to the national daily this morning, beginning with the Punch paper, where the banner headline reads, "Aggrieved National Assembly members plan showdown with governors over lost tickets." That story is on page 2, and there are 3 writers to the story. The first writer says, "Senators who lost tickets to governors ace plan for governorship. National Assembly battles. Abiodun Fayemi Okowa's aides triumph in Ogun, Delta, Ekiti. Amosun men lose out." The last writer says Zamfara reps clinched PDP tickets after dumping APC, accused ruling party of cheating. More of the story you find on page 2 of the Punch paper. Now to the masthead of the paper that says, "Marketers notify federal government on planned fuel price hike. Queues persist." And the story is on page 19. And on page 16, or rather 18, Southern leaders didn't agree to zones to produce presidents, coming from Okowa. Also on page 18, this one that says, "Wike meets Orubebe, PDP senators." Alleged organ trafficking, Ekwem Madu wife risk long jail term. Federal government saves 10.2 trillion naira via TSA/IPPS, uncovers 70,000 ghost workers. That story is on page 20. And also on page 20, 5G networks may interfere with aircraft landing. That's from IATA. Now further down, there's a picture of a quite hilarious one that says, "Hijab ruling, drama as lawyer wears native doctor attire to Supreme Court." PDP lecturers, or rather poly lecturers, meets July 3rd, may resume strike. "We are not aware Amoteko arrested or were massacre masterminds." That's from the Monarch and the Christian Association of Nigeria. Story you find on page 8. On page 4, noodle struck crushes Lagos police traffic warden to death. That story there. And now to the bottom stream of the paper. How 3 ex-bank workers planned with hackers to steal 20 billion naira. That's from the Witness on pages 4 and 8. Pages 4 and 5 has a story that says gunmen kidnap a boy monarch. Nasarawa DPO, Ekiti retiree, 7 travelers. And finally on page 9, forget about workers' salaries if fuel subsidy continues. And that's coming from the oil suppliers.
Up next is the Nation paper. The headline here reads, "Detained Ekweremadu wife risks 10-year jail in UK." And the stand first that story is couple arrested at airport in presence of High Commission officials, remanded till July 7th over allegations of organ harvest orders. More of that top story you can find on page 4 of the Nation paper. To the masthead of the paper now, you have police and Motekun disagree over arrest of our attack suspects. More of that security matters on page 2. On page 5, it's about civil service. 70,000 ghost workers flushed out of federal civil service. That's on page 5. On page 27, a bit of state politics there. Oyo House set to determine deputy governor's fate. And MTN Mafab gets August 24 deadline to roll out 5G. That's on page 5. You also have defections, why senators, reps may lose seats. More of that on page 4. Still talking politics. I could not have rejected Atiku's running mate offer, says Okowa. Pick up a copy of The Nation to find out more of that on page 3 of The Nation paper. To the bottom strip of the paper, you have federal government shares $322.5 million Abacha loot to 1.9 million Nigerians. That is on page 7. Lawyer dresses like God of Rivers to Supreme Court. More of that story on page 6. And you have Buhari on third term. The man who tried it did not end very well. President urges UK to support Nigeria on security. Kano not denied private access to lawyers. And that's on page 4 of the Nation paper.
And from the Nation, we move to the Guardian, where the top story here says federal government autogas plant stores amid costly diesel poor planning, with the writer saying failure frustrates conversion scheme from diesel to CNG petrol engines. Federal government explains progress despite low enrollment. We can't afford 5 million naira truck conversion rate, NATO says. Ipman, without petrol subsidy, Nigerians would have been paying 900 naira per litre. The story continues on page 9. Abateco arrests suspect in Owo attack, recovers car ammunition, and that's the Metro page having the story on page 10. Families of Abuja Kaduna train abductees say victims planning suicide, and that's on page 29. On page 7, UK confirmed first vaccine-derived polio virus in 38 years. Take that again, UK confirmed first vaccine-derived polio virus in 38 years. And on page 2, mild drama as lawyer appears in Supreme Court in traditional attire. That's this one that says why Nigeria has one of the world's worst vaccination rates. That's the big story on pages 4 and 5. And finally, on the bottom stream of the paper, the story on page 5, still on the Ekweremadu issue. UK court denies Ekweremadu wife bail over child trafficking, organ harvesting.
And the final paper I'll be reviewing this morning is that of the Business Day, and the headline here reads, Nigeria's middle class shrinking as prices surge. More of that story on page 30 of Business Day. You also have a bit of economics that pensioners hit. I'll take that again rather, still on page 30. Pensioners had hit as inflation erodes monthly pay. You have the story here, how SSM tumbled as Nigeria's top non-oil export product. That's on page 2. And the final story making the Business Day paper this morning, Lafarge Africa, Sanwo-Olu orders to examine real estate sector. I beg your pardon. That's on page 2 of the Business Day paper this morning. Those are about the stories making the various dailies we just reviewed. And then Margaret,
yes,
I like this Business Day, the headline. The middle class shrinking, to due to inflation, price surge and what have you. I've said over time that the middle class is more of a facade, really. When you look at,
you mentioned that actually.
When you look at the reality on ground, I understand quite well. Yes, you have the top 1%, and you have those below the poverty line. The middle class looks like those who are stable, who can afford 3 square meal. They can afford a decent vacation once a year and all of that. But that class of people are just one health crisis away from falling to the poverty line. When you look at health crisis that probably has to do with kidneys, heart, or what have you, a 15 million naira surgery, for example, will probably take someone from that class
to the low class.
To the local. The person will probably sell all he or she has in terms of assets and properties and what have you, just to cater for the health. So The middle class is now shrinking according to the Business Day. Again, it speaks volumes of what we're dealing with in terms of the economy. Inflation's at 17.71%. You have the cost of living in terms of goods and commodities and markets also skyrocketing. All of these things has an adverse effect on everyone. If the middle class can be shrinking, imagine what happens to the lower class. It means that the number there is increasing, and it's not good for us as a nation.
Well, you just literally said everything that needs to be said, because we even have, even the percentage of middle class we have, it's not even the actual percentage. Now, a lot of people, even the middle class, people who think they are middle class, they can't even afford the vacation right now.
No.
not anymore. So someone has also said that there is nothing like middle class in Nigeria. It's either you are poor or you are rich. So even those who are in quote middle class, they can only afford the vacation. Is even a luxury right now. It's even for the bourgeoisie, the cream de la cream. Now the middle class is now someone who can, you have a stable income at least every month. You're sure of salary or an income from somewhere. You can afford a 3-square meal, probably take care of yourself and 2 other people, your family. That's middle class. Having to afford vacation right now is luxury, you know. So the middle class is, the narrative of middle class has even changed totally. There may be just nothing like middle class in the years to come anymore. So that report is actually very, very true. It's true. And then there's something should be done about it, because if these things keeps degenerating, we used to have the poor, the weak, the middle, and the rich. That's from descending order now, or ascending order, the rich, the poor, the rich, the middle class, and the poor. But right now, the middle class is gradually fading out. So it's either you are working to be rich, or you should be working towards being poor. So right now, something should be done, because the price surge, the inflation rate,
cost of goods and commodities is quite ridiculous.
And the reports now saying without fuel subsidy, we'll probably be buying 900 naira per litre. That's a ridiculous
How many people can afford that?
How many people can even able to afford 300 naira, 400 naira, or even the 165 or 180 for fuel that they are selling right now?
There's still the place of the cost of cooking gas. So
we've not even gotten to that right now.
People are going back to
the cost of electricity, data plans. You know, come on. So right now, the middle class is almost fading out, if it hasn't even gradually faded out. But then I want to even pick up a story here. One of the stories we talked about: 70,000 ghost workers in federal service. Now the big question: 70,000 is a huge number. That's the the masthead of the Nation paper has that story. 70,000 ghost workers flushed out of the federal service. How did they even get there? Now, there's supposed to be people put in place to screen this process. You should screen the process. Imagine having to pay salaries of people that are not even working. Those money should be added to...
Sorry to butt in. The people screening the process are the ones also culpable.
That is the problem.
Because if they had carried out due diligence in in the screening process, you won't have 70,000. Again, it's okay to probably have 2, 3, 5. Maybe they just slip in or fill in without you being aware. But when you have 70,000, it's obvious that that's a deliberate.
It's not even okay to have 2, 3, 5.
No, when I say it's okay, I'm coming from the angle of just an oversight, that kind of a thing, that mistake, But when you have 70,000, it shows you that the number is large and it's deliberate. Again, that's even for federal civil service. We had the papers report about 9,000. Either yesterday or 2 days ago, one of the papers also reported 9,000, over 9,000. In the state's civil service for, I think, Kano, if I'm not mistaken. You look at all of these things. People are the ones, being at play there. It's one thing to use your position to, award job opportunities to maybe friends, families, relatives. It's another thing to just fill in blank names and these people are not even working. And all of the money is being channeled, the salaries are being channeled, or the bonuses are being channeled elsewhere. Imagine how many jobs or how many people you get out of the unemployment, net, if you have 70,000 people being given these jobs, especially for the federal civil service. So it shows you that we still have a lot to do. If you have 70,000 out of this unemployment net, I'm rest assured that the unemployment rate will drop. But right now, right now we're at 33.3%. That's extremely ridiculous. You have countries like Germany that is below 3.5%, and they're still looking for ways to even, shrink it. So all of these things have to be in place. We talk about unemployment all the time, but we need to also address the issues of ghost workers. And it's not just from the Federal Civil Service. We have it at various states as well. You know, various ministries. We've heard of reports of civil ghost workers over time. Professor Babagana Zulum, the governor of Borno State, also, you know, after an audit, found out over 10,000 ghost workers in the state at some point. And that was barely 2 months ago. So all of these things needs to be addressed. If we really want to deal with the issue of unemployment and the high rates we have right now, we need to address the issues of ghost workers and, you know, those salaries being channeled elsewhere.
Well, yeah, that's I agree with that. But then before, you know, the Ekwemado issue, we've already spoken about it. Interestingly, you made the papers and we just spoke about it at the inception of the show. But now let's look at, before we go into that, that's a big story now. Let's look at the hijab ruling. I really want to hear your thoughts. We are forgetting that in Nigeria, we have so many religions. Now we have religions that are predominantly, you know, people practice more in Nigeria, which is either you're Christian or you're Muslim. But don't forget that we have the Ifa worship. Am I correct? Yeah. We have the Ahmadiyya worshippers. We have the people who worship the rivers. That's freedom of worship. So I don't want to say a lot of things right now, but then this is a lawyer. If you can allow someone wearing hijab to bring it to court, then personally, I do not think he shouldn't be allowed to do this in court. But then, is it not showing? I don't know. Let me just get your thoughts.
Well, it seems comical, but the thing again is, you see, the notion of the concept of freedom is ambiguous. Exactly. And there would always be back and forth. As a matter of fact, it's controversial. It's controversial, but that's the premise upon which every right, you know, is centered on when it comes to human rights, fundamental rights, and what have you. Those, for example, who clamor for abortion, the left, it's also on the basis of the notion of freedom, that a woman should be free to make healthcare choices for herself.
To decide if she wants a child.
And those who are against abortion as a law are those who are also saying the child should have the freedom to leave, the right to leave, you know. So
it's relative.
It is ambiguous. You definitely have back and forth. Now, for you know, the lawyer in question, it seems comical that why would you dress like that? But again, if you can allow those who use hijab, why not? And in the first place, why even deny those who wear hijab to, you know, the courts? Again, all of these things are in perspective.
Not just hijab thing. It didn't start today. I think some years ago it was on the news too.
Even in schools. Again, see, we need to understand that the place of tolerance goes a long way in how we cohabit as a people and as a nation. Now, it has to do with religious tolerance here. If you are denying someone who wears hijab access to certain, you know, buildings or institutions or places, then are you also going to deny someone who wears maybe the Catholic rosary on the neck or you know, on the finger? I attended the Catholic primary and secondary school, and I wore those things. So if you cannot deny someone who is wearing a Catholic ring or, you know, a rosary, why deny someone who is wearing an hijab?
But then looking at
it's all about tolerance.
Look at it from another angle now. Now we have seen how this particular story has made it to the headlines. Great. As much as it's someone's, excuse me, it's someone's religion. This could cause a scare because it's not so accepted. It's not a norm. So if I'm coming somewhere. So I'm not against having to allow anyone wear hijab. But then if my religion permits me to carry a live tortoise on my neck, am I still going to be accepted into public spaces? Now let's look at it from hijab is a religious attire. That's a religious attire.
The live tortoise is also a religious attire.
But then, will the live tortoise not cause a scare?
Well, again, when you say scared, you have to also put it in perspective.
Or a live serpent around my neck.
Is he causing public disturbance? That's one.
What shouldn't cause? It's my religion. Of course,
that's why I said you have to look at it based on the ambit of the law. Is it causing public disturbance? Is he, you know, a harm or a threat to anyone? No. If I wear a live tortoise, the tortoise can't jump from my neck to your neck. So again, all of these things need to be put into perspectives. We're different people with different layers in terms of religion or ethnicity and what have you. And for our beliefs, if we're trying to accommodate those who wear hijab, which, as I said earlier, they shouldn't have even been discriminated against in the first place, then you should be able to welcome those who are either Buddhist or Hinduist and all of that, you know, because you have different religions. The man, I like the attire, and I'm really a big fan of it. It's true.
I like it.
We need to tolerate one another. The fact that you have freedom to wear what you wear based on your religious beliefs, I should be able to wear mine as well.
Yeah.
That's the way we can live peacefully. Because when we begin to, you know, bring up discriminatory rules or policies into play, especially when it comes to religion, then you know that it's not a good ground for peace. Remember, again, religion is a very sensitive issue, especially in this part of the world. So you really don't want to trigger the next person. It's all about tolerance. As I've said, it's personally, I think it's wrong to even discriminate against those who wear hijab. They're not in any way constituting a public nuisance or a threat to anyone. They're just simply, you know, living out their religious belief. The same way Christians do too.
When it comes to religion, you have to be very careful.
Exactly.
If you should not discriminate against those wearing hijab, that means I'm still saying person who wants to carry the offer to court should be allowed to do that. But then, quote me now, that may cause a problem.
How?
Because it may, okay, just imagine I'm a traditional worshipper, and then I'm a lawyer, or I come to court and I'm having, you know, after a while, person will start saying that that's diabolic, What is diabolic?
If it is diabolic for you, then you also become a prayer warrior, so as to shield yourself from that. I mean, it's the truth. The scripture is clear. Oh, the scripture is clear. We fight wars not against, you know, flesh and blood, principalities and powers in high places and all of that. It's clear. So if you think someone is diabolic, you also, you know, empower yourself based on your own religious belief. It's that simple.
You got a clash at some point. You got a clash at some
I'm
point.
not disputing that there will definitely be religious, you know, suspicions and all. But the truth is, you cannot discriminate against a particular section of religious group people and then allow others. That doesn't call for equity or equality in that sense. Again, the notion of freedom is, yes, ambiguous, but the same rights, as I just gave a prime example, that Christians have, maybe your Catholics, to wear rosaries or the ring roses and all. The Muslims also have that right to wear hijab. He is an idol worshipper. He has the right to put, what's that, the god or the bead or something, you know, on his neck.
Why are you asking me? I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
All right.
But it is what it is. Again, I really hope that, you know, we address these issues. Remember, it's caused a rancor as well, even down to secondary schools where you have children being denied, you know, access to class because they're on hijabs and all of that. We shouldn't discriminate against one another, especially along religious lines. It's ridiculous. That's what divides us. Rather, we should find common grounds that unites us.
All right, quickly, let's look at the masthead of the Punch paper that talks about the fuel queues that the federal government is. The marketers notify federal government on planned fuel price hike. Queues persist. Now, interestingly, yesterday, I don't know the magic that happened in Lagos, rather some parts of Lagos. The queues were not much.
So someone said
and
the same thing.
The queues are back again. I'm like, and I was wondering, why didn't you just drive into a filling station to buy fuel? 2 nights ago, Wednesday night, Thursday afternoon, there were no queues. And like, of course, there were no much queues at all. But this morning, I'm seeing all of a sudden, I'm seeing long queues. So I'm wondering what's happening. Do you have a response?
I don't know. Bola said the same thing yesterday on the show.
Really? She did?
Yeah, that she had just about 3 or 4 cars ahead of her, you know, and she was able to fill up her tank and all. Again, we do not expect that this thing will just disappear all of a sudden, you know, in a day or two. It should be a gradual process. That's what I think, because the problem didn't just start today. And then for, you know, the supply, for the demands to be met, the supply has to also go around in terms of various independent marketers having fuels at their filling stations and what have you. So I'm sure with time, you know, it will gradually freeze out. That's what I want to presume.
But that's increased though.
Well, let's see. I don't know what happened yesterday, really. I don't know what happened yesterday.
And I was wondering what happened. Maybe I should have just followed my heart to fill up my tank.
You would have filled up your tank.
Really? And I was like, oh, since the queues there are no queues anymore, obviously it will get better. But this morning I'm seeing long queues. I'm like,
I just feel for the common man. Again, we've talked about this thing over time. It's almost like we sound like a broken record. But unfortunately, we can't help ourselves but sound like that, because the problem still persists. the truth is, the fuel scarcity or the hoarding of the products by some marketers and what have you is affecting the common man, and that's where I'm concerned that folks are stranded. They can't commute from one place to another. Transportation prices are over 100% in some areas in Lagos. You also have issues with those who can't get fuel for either commercial purposes, like your small, medium, small scale businesses, or those who want to use it for domestic purposes. Imagine a mother who has an infant, probably 2 weeks, a month old. We know power supply is erratic. You need it for domestic use. You need it. So imagine such a child having to sleep overnight, and children, they can't talk, but they'll be crying all through the discomfort. So again, all these things have ripple effects. It's not just about people stranded and can't commute from one place to another, or transportation prices. There are various aspects of the domestic usage you also have to consider. I just give an example of mother and an infant. There's also those who make use of the product for commercial purposes. Maybe a tailor who is just managing the business, something. All of these things have ripple effect, and it still trickles down to the economy. So I really hope that the fuel scarcity of a thing is sorted out ASAP, and the demand supply gap is met by NMPC, so that we can get out of this mess we found ourselves. Yeah, it seems like we are reviewing a lot of stories today, because today is filled with a lot of stories. Now let's look at the one on the masthead of the Nation paper. The masthead, the story about the disagreement between if the suspects of Owo where the attack were arrested or not. Well, this one says the police Moteko disagree over arrest of Owo attack suspects. And another one again, I saw it somewhere. I'm trying to look for the paper. I saw it, but then still talking about Owo, the saying that there was nothing, like they didn't get the perpetrators of that. Yeah, Moteko arrest suspects in Owo attack recovers car ammunition. Well, a lot of disagreement about it, but I feel this is a very delicate issue that should not, because people's lives are involved. It's a mass killing, and then you can't be going back and forth. We saw sometime in the news, we read that they were marched to the Olubadan's palace. Oluwo's palace. I beg your pardon. Oluwo's palace, and then he was saying they shall over to the police in Akure and all of that. And now there's this story coming that they're not the ones. They're not the ones. And the thing is, I understand. Yes, are they the ones who carried out the evil act? Talking about the Owo massacre or not? But what's more important is those who were caught were criminals. Yes. Regardless of being the perpetrators of that, heinous act or not, the fact that they are criminals, it is a win in terms of policing that community. Now, that's a group of criminals off the streets. So that's where they should look at it from. Again, we would have to, get more. Again, this is a matter of security, know. So we really can't talk about it extensively. But the police will be in a better position. If they are saying they are not the ones, I want to believe that acting or making that judgment on the basis of the intel they have, that those are not the perpetrators of the attack. Why? The public was already made to believe that those were the perpetrators. No, that's wrong information in itself. Well, which could be, well, it's not even good to pass wrong information. Rather not pass an information at all than to give the wrong information. That's something as delicate as that. That would also determine. That would also, be determined by the intel that the Amotekun regional security outfit had. Because for Amotekun to go after them and effect their arrest and then claim that yes, these are the perpetrators of the acts, they also acted on an intel. So you now probably have a situation where there are two contradictory intels, probably, and both security agents, that's the police and the regional security outfit Amotekun, are now having disagreements about is this intel true or not. But regardless of what it is, as I said, the win here is that a group of criminals have been caught and they've been taken off the street to face justice. That's peace for the people. You have to give credit to Amotekun. If they are the perpetrators of the Owo massacre or not, the fact that they've also been able to contribute their own quota to the policing of that community or that state as a whole is testament to the good works they are doing, especially in Ondo State. I really hope that I understand the place of we need to know if they are the ones, just to get some sort of closure and a sense of justice that finally they've been apprehended. I get all of that, but we also need to be careful. The police are in a better position to tell us if they are indeed the criminals that perpetrated that act. But my the joy I'm getting out of this is another set of criminals have been taken off the streets, and the people of war, and the Ondo states would at least live in relative peace.
Well, is there a story you have personally particular interest
No,
in?
we've touched on everything really. I think the Ikwerimadu thing as well. That's what so many papers are carrying, and it's quite unfortunate what's happening. It doesn't help us in any way, especially the image of the nation, because that's a top citizen. At some point, he was the deputy senate president for 12 years, in fact, 3 successive terms, which was unprecedented in the history of our politics. So let's hope that justice is served. And I like the fact that
they reached the 10-year jail term, and
it could be more. It could also be a life imprisonment. I just hope justice is served and the child, is safe. The good thing is that the identity has not been disclosed. So we hope that justice is served, and it's a lesson to others as well who are trying to, toe that line.
Well, thank you so much, Samson, for that amazing analysis. So, well, that's the paper review segment on the show this morning. I'm sure you enjoyed the segment because we did right here in the studio. Please do share your thoughts with us, social media platforms, and also the live chat below. We'll take a short break now. Do not forget, it's Friday. More interesting segments to come after the break.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
The cosmetics and personal care industry globally generates an estimated annual turnover of around $400 billion over the last 20 years. In Nigeria, the beauty and personal care market could reach 3.2 billion euros by 2021, making Nigeria the rising star in sub-Saharan Africa. Products for hair and body care are predominant on the beauty market in sub-Saharan Africa, where face products and makeup remain marginal but have strong potential. Africa's largest economy clearly has a lot to offer. The Nigerian beauty and personal care market is currently worth more than $1.25 billion at retail and is forecast to reach more than $1.31 billion next year, according to Euromonitor International. It includes a wide range of products from skincare items to makeup and beauty items. These are items that predominantly appeal to women and men alike to purchase beauty products, even though men are interested in cosmetics. Nigeria has emerged as the investment destinations of choice to international firms aiming to capture the beauty and personal care market in the continent. The photography business is a very competitive industry. Every year, thousands of talented photo lovers consider turning their passion into a money-making business venture. Especially in a fiercely competitive marketplace like Nigeria, in which it is very easy for anyone to buy a digital camera and call themselves a professional photographer. According to some practitioners, a new photographer who wants a standard studio can start with a budget of 3.5 million naira. However, one can start with a lower budget of about 500,000 to 1 million naira depending on the tools and cost of rent. On the average, the cost of photography equipment is around 294,790 naira. However, the price ranges from around 41,000 naira to as high as 2.46 million naira. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people with a vibrant movie industry that produces 50 movies per week, generating annual revenue of approximately $590 million from between 2016 and 2021, helping the photography industry as a whole, according to a recent research by the UN.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
The future of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies continue to draw a lot of attention from investors, entrepreneurs, regulators, and the general public. Many recent public discussions of cryptocurrencies have been triggered by the substantial changes in their prices, claims that the market for cryptocurrencies is a bubble without any fundamental value, and also concerns about evasion of regulatory and legal oversight. These concerns have led to calls for increased regulation or even a total ban. Further debates concern inter alia, the classification of cryptocurrencies as commodities, money, or something else, the potential development of cryptocurrency derivatives and of credit contracts in cryptocurrency, the use of initial coin offerings (ICO), employing cryptocurrency technology to finance startup initiatives, and the issue of digital currencies by central banks employing cryptocurrency technologies. Market size and opportunities. The total market capitalization of the 100 largest cryptocurrencies is reported to exceed the equivalent of 330 billion euros globally by early 2018. The total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies together in that period peaked at an even higher $728 billion, dropping just 3 weeks later to approximately $360 billion. In any event, there are compelling reasons why cryptocurrencies should be under more scrutiny by regulators and supervisors. The threat of price volatility, speculative trading, hack attacks, money laundering, and terrorist financing all call for stricter regulation. Cryptocurrency has provided many avenues to financial freedom for many people. As the technology improves, the industry goes from strength to strength. Blockchain technology is now being used to enhance almost every single sector. From gaming to cross-border payments, crypto is now involved. Whilst Bitcoin and Ethereum cement themselves as the two powerhouses of the crypto world, many new exciting projects aim to aid real-world problems. Analysts estimate that the global cryptocurrency market will more than triple by 2030, hitting a valuation of nearly $5 billion. Whether they want to buy into it or not, investors, businesses, and brands cannot ignore the rising tide of crypto for long. As a matter of fact, the reward system for cryptocurrency creates an incentive to leverage on computing power, increasing the consumption of energy. For example, note that computational efforts of miners are costly, mainly because the proof-of-work calculations are power-intensive, consuming more than 173 megawatts of electricity continuously.
Worldwide, swag daddy with no hype gang. Say man you want no problem. Swag daddy come back again with the flow. That the girl is make them get low, my lady. Swag daddy come back again with the flow. That the girl is make them get low, my lady. Me I no come here to bother. Me I just come here to bubble. Sipping on my heli, chilling on a daily. Chilling in my Vica belly. Now you see me here, you're telling money for my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me. Chilling in my Vika Valley, now you see me on your telly. Money for my belly. Nothing go fit to tell me. Remember the days I get nothing. Some of the girls no call me, kilo call me. Me, I just want to come body. Make me no tell somebody. Wonder why she acting naughty. She just high off the Henny. Me, I'm coming back again with the flow. And I'm giving them flex on a non-stop. Me, I'm coming back again with the flow. Giving them flex on a non-stop. But yeah, come to my side, oh. Give you loving, we no go capside, oh. Give you loving, we no go capside, oh. You chilling on the better side, oh. Me, I no come here to bother. Me, I just come here to bubble. Sipping on my heli, chilling on a daily. Chilling in my Vika Valley. Now you see me and you're telling money from my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me. Chilling in my Vika Valley.
Now, it takes a lot of talent, technique, and knowledge to be a successful musician. Talent enough is insufficient. It should be backed up with a lot of practice, learning, and all that has to go with it. And that's why we have right here in the studio Joshua Elonaze, aka Naze, the person who did that amazing song you just listened to. He's sitting right here in the studio with us. Good morning, Joshua, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for that beautiful song. I would say I like your trousers because you have a lot of trousers, you know, like 5 or 10 trousers inside one trouser, a lot of pockets. It's a new style. I'm sure people will copy it very soon. Joshua, that song was amazing. You sound like Burna Boy. Have you been told that before?
Yeah, that's like who I look up to.
If you really look up, so I just knew. But then let's talk about you. Who is Joshua?
Joshua is a very creative, free, inspiring person.
I'm sure it's not your real voice. What's the ginger I used to use to sing
like
songs?
This is my real voice. I'm pretty a bit
really?
shy.
All right. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, please go on.
You didn't look shy there, though.
You didn't look shy
like,
there.
because that's something like I do. Like,
so
when you're in
class, you were in the spirit. You had to deliver, but now you're out of the spirit, so it's okay. Okay, so just
So basically, I've been doing music for a while, like since professional, like 2016. Yeah, but like it's been a hard journey pushing yourself as an independent artist. So I schooled in Ghana. I just finished school. So I'm waiting to get my papers, so I'll be back. But basically now I'm working on an EP called Hardest Hour Volume 1. Basically, Hardest Hour Volume 1. Basically the whole idea is like I'm coming from a place of hardship, you see. So like this is the hardest out, but I still made it out. Do you understand? That's why the name is Hardest Hour Volume 1. So I'm going to keep like doing more.
So that basically, the EP will basically reflect on your struggles, your journey.
Like I don't have a song I just dropped. So far, no detire you. It's basically about the government. And, yeah. So that's one of the songs that'll be on the EP.
Okay, but let's start from the basic. How did you delve into music? You said you've been doing this professionally for 6 years now, 2016. But before then, did you join, the choir in church or something? How did music start for you?
I started basic. I felt I just loved it. Like it's always been there. Like I always used to watch TV and be like, I think I used to like Joey Badass. There's one guy called Joey Badass. He's a very, very good rapper in America. Okay. So I think he inspired me.
You think? You're putting a social, or you know?
I know he inspired me because like he's a very conscious rapper.
Okay.
So like he talks about a lot of things. So he was one of the first people that really channeled my energy to music. And I had friends that were doing music then. I grew up with, like, you might know some of them. Like Wanda Banton, LOS, Bridge, Zama, the Santi that sings. Yeah. I went to my school, so basically we're all in the same school, so
the same space.
Yeah.
So then you've talked about a lot of struggles you've had to go through as an independent artist, and the challenges here. You mentioned that, of course, that has been able to build you to even releasing some songs. Now let's talk about how these challenges, how did it come by? Is it as being an independent artist in terms of money, or in terms of acceptance, your kind of music, or your personality, on how the society sees musicians?
I think basically it's everything in general. Money, personality. Most times you have to look in a certain way for people to accept
No,
you.
okay, yeah, I understand, but let's take it one after the other. Money, you mentioned it, then personality, then looking in a certain way. I'm really interested in all of those things, but just take it step by step.
The money, basically, you know, music takes a lot.
Okay.
Especially not just making the music. I think it's easier to make the music, but when it's hard, it's like the promotion, marketing, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need like a very big facilitator, someone that can pour enough money into your music that take it all around the globe.
Let me come in here, but looking at, I mean, the digital age, it was not 10 years ago where you still needed to print on CDs and take it to, you know, your radio stations or TV stations to play. With the digital space or the social media world, you don't think it's easier to, you know, publicize or promote your music?
It's a bit easier, but it's still money. You know, those digital platforms, if you want your audience to get a more broader audience, I think you need money. Like Instagram, you need to put money, finance your post, like promote it. So everything still goes down to money. You need money for everything, like basically. Because even on Twitter too, there are ads, you have to pay for money. Snapchat, you have to pay for you to go like broad. You can't just post and everybody just sit on your page when you're not really out there.
Okay, you said it's cheaper, let me use your word, to, you know, make the music than even promote it. But making the music will mean you pay for a producer who will charge you for the beats. You probably pay for a sound engineer who will help you mix and master. You know, you book studio sessions. All of that, isn't that as, you know, expensive as the promotion itself?
To me, I don't know. Because, you see, you can get free beats online. Sometimes you don't really need...
But that's plagiarism. Intellectual theft.
Yeah, true. But you see those free beats, they have like a platform you can buy them from, like at a cheaper price, like probably like $20.
So they're not free.
Yeah, they're not free.
And then they're not free in that sense.
Yeah, in that sense. But you could use that to practice. You don't need to drop it like on those platforms that are going to take it off. Like you could just drop it on the free platform. No, you're not making money. Or if you just try to get like a fan base first. So I think that's what most people do. That's why people drop like freestyles on Instagram and things. Just to get like attention. So once you get our attention, now
the buzz is there.
Yeah.
All right, now let me come in. You mentioned money and looking a certain way. Now you've talked about the money aspect, which of course everybody will talk about, especially with the state of economy in Africa, in the world, because you mentioned it's good in Ghana. So now let's look at you looking in a certain way. How has that affected, or how is that supposed to be a challenge in your music?
Musically, because you need to be accepted. You need to look. You need to have dreads, pierce your ears.
Are you sure?
Most of the time,
he's a veteran. He doesn't have
maybe
dreads.
because
I don't know. A couple of them they are veteran. Maybe because
some have tattoos. Some
but there's a lifestyle he'll probably live like that has to complement our music. He has to. I don't know, but like I feel there's a lifestyle that comes with it behind the whole.
Does it involve the fake it to make it lifestyle? Because a lot of people will say, I'm coming to that. A lot of people say because you, for instance, I've had people speak about this and say because I live on the mainland, they are seeing me as a kind of way that I rather live on the island, so I'll be perceived as a Lagos big boy than. Is it part of it, or have a car? Even if I have to borrow the car.
People are not confident in what they are doing.
Confidence.
If you know what you do, like you don't need all that. Like, if you know you're good, like.
But just mention acceptance. Some people, sometimes you're good, but you're not accepted. You have to do what to make them accept you. It may not be the best practice.
But I feel that has to boil down to the music. You have to study what they want. You might, like you said, Two-Face, he didn't look like that, but like his sound was complementing what the people wants to hear. Like that's the most important thing. Like you have to think about the audience, not like yourself.
I was about coming there. Again, music is a reflection of the artist's you know, creative abilities. Now, you talked about the need to match up with the expectations of the people in terms of giving them the kind of sound they want. But there's also the place of self-expression. You're expressing yourself in terms of your thoughts and creativity. If it's not matching up to what the, in quote, majority wants, don't you think you should still in quotes, stay original and create a niche for yourself. I mean, not everyone is into the pop sound kind of thing. You have your Brimo, you have your Johnny Drill and all, and they still have their audience. So in terms of acceptability, why should you allow what they want affect you when you can always create a niche for yourself?
You know, I feel maybe that happens basically when you're growing.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're trying to get audiences, so you have to dive into different genres. Like try to experiment which one. Like it's not like you're not original, but like you just have to experiment.
To test the waters,
test the waters. Like that's the same thing Davido would have done. Burna Boy, Whiskey, they would have experimented with a lot of sounds first. They got a lot of people attracted to them before they say, okay, now they can do what they are good at. That's why Whiskey now can drop a song that's at mid-tempo and you still play it. Because now he's known and he's accepted for that song.
Every song is a hit. Every song he drops will be a hit,
Okay, so talking about sound now, what would you call your sound, or what would you define as your sound? That those who call you Afrofusion or Afro rap, Afro beats, everyone seems to want to have that Afro, you know, as a prefix to whatever sound they make. So, what's your sound?
Well, I'll say Afrofusion because I mix mostly a lot of drill music, Afro pop. So like I'll say Afrofusion.
Okay. Now let's talk about your journey into music. You mentioned earlier that you just realized you like music. I don't know, practicing music in Ghana, what's it like? That's just a side question as compared to Nigeria. What's it like?
Like Ghanaians accept you easily
because you're Nigerian.
Facts. Like there's a lot of love there.
Wow, and it's so sad. Well, it's like you're saying that they accept you more than your.
Yes, like when I was in Ghana, like I think before my Nigerian friends started paying attention to me, you see, the Ghanaians they already accepted me. So I think that made the Nigerians out here like.
Who is this guy?
Why, like, why do they like him? Like, I like my friends, Joey Leeds, most of them, Free the Youth, the staff for Davido, most of them. So like. Those are people that really support me. Anytime I post, like, they repost.
But what do you think they liked you? Was it because of your sound unique based on what they had?
Like, you know, like, I'm someone that doesn't give up. Like, I'm always at your neck. Like, you have to do this for me. Like, do you understand? Because of the same way I love the music, the same way I chase the dream. Yeah, so that's basically what they like about me. I'm always working.
Yeah, now that was a side question. Sorry, something.
No, it's all right.
Okay, that was a side question. I just wanted to know the acceptance level in Ghana was like. But then your journey into music, you mentioned you just realized you like music. And how was your family? You talk about acceptance, so it's very important. How was your family? You know, you are their own, so they can obviously not throw you away. They will not like it, but they cannot throw you away. But I want to know how did your family, or did you get to make them accept it? Are they still trying to accept that this is the reality with our son?
I think, every normal parent wants you to go to school.
Okay.
So, but I always used to tell them, I see, I don't think school is for me, but I used to tell them, I say, I want to go and study something in school, like a skill set, maybe cinematography or music itself. You know, your parents will be like, oh, no, you have to study medicine. But it got to a point, they said that, every time they give me money sometimes from school, I'll use out of TV to record. Like, so my dad used to listen to the song and I'll be like, he's actually good, and he took interest. And I think he's the one that even registered my company.
Oh, that's great.
After so many fights and
you know? Like, he just accepted it. Even he knows I'm here. Like, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
I mean, it's good to have, you know, parents support their kids in what they do, especially when it comes to jobs that are seemingly not conventional, like your doctors, lawyers, and what have you. Oftentimes the narrative is, oh, dad was against it. Maybe it's mom that shielded me and all. But the fact that dad is even supportive and can go all the way to register, you know, your company, it shows that you know, you have great parents. Shout out to him. Kudos to him. I'm talking about, you know, your song now. How did the journey start? I know you rap. Do you sing as well? Do you produce? Are you a songwriter?
Yeah, I sing. A bit, not like sing, but like Burna Boy's kind of.
Burna Boy's kind of singing.
You just sing on the surface. So you're strictly a rapper.
I'll put in the say I'm an artist.
Okay.
I prefer that.
Oh, you prefer the general term artist rather than rapper.
Okay, but you write your songs?
Yeah, I write everything. I stopped writing.
Why?
I don't know, it becomes easy for me. If I like it, it just pops in my head. Yeah, I don't like most of the songs I don't write. Probably I'm with my friends and the vibe just comes. I'm like, oh, that would be a mad chorus. Just put it down. Then when I get to the studio, I just drop probably that chorus, then listen to it and write to it. Yeah, so but like I hardly write.
Because I was about asking that those who probably have to listen to a beat first, feel the beat, vibe to it, and then they try to freestyle and then put pen to paper. That those who have probably written first, maybe not necessarily like a poem, but they would have written the lyrics and they now try to find the beats to complement it and the sound and rhythm and all of that. So how do you work in terms of production when you get to the studio? The producer plays the beat and then you vibe to it and you spit, or you have your lyrics down. You just tell him, give me any beats, I jump on it.
Most times, I just play the beat, or sometimes I have a vibe in my head. I could just sing it to him, and he just play something that rhymes with that. But most times, he just play the beat, and I just shuffle through. I'm like, okay, I like this one. And I probably...
So you sample different beats and then you pick one?
I like being diverse.
Diverse, That's good. Now tell us what you think about the Nigerian music industry. I know you had already mentioned that in Ghana the Ghanaians accepted you more, and that's already making me feel the kind of way as a patriotic Nigerian.
It feels good though, because considering the recent squabbles, Stone Boy, Burna Boy, this, that, and all of that, it's just good to have African brothers accept one another regardless of.
But then it's not in the Bible that the prophet is without. What part of the Bible you think again?
The prophet is honored in some time.
That's how, and that part of them that said is without respect or something.
Okay,
I can't remember. I know you don't know that part. Though.
Really?
Do you know the part of the Bible that said that? Okay, you don't know. Well, it's okay not to know it. But then, how has the Nigerian music industry been for you? What would you say an overview, if you were asked to have an overview of the Nigerian music industry? What would you say it's like?
It's very broad.
Okay.
Like, Nigerians are very talented.
No, not just the good part. You could also talk about bad part too. It's
just that, like, our Nigerian industry, there's more about politics in it.
Music industry.
Over in other countries, you can be talented and make it out. Like, you don't have to spend so much. But out here, it's like everybody wants to eat from you before you get to the top. So they want to see that, okay, you can bring something to the table. There's a lot of politics, a lot of people trying to steal your records or steal your resources. You could be with like a big artist now. He'll be probably telling you he's going to sign you, he's just probably using you for your resources. Like probably when you're recording, he wants you around because he knows that, okay, you have a vibe that he can use on his music.
And he needs that vibe.
Yeah, so they do that a lot here. Like
that's what you mean by the politicization of the industry. Okay, because
it's sad,
It's sad. I know the band was, immersed in one accusation like that just about 3 weeks or a month ago, or something similar as well. And you've had different, artists. I mean, the famous Wizkid and Dami Crane saga, the whole bottle incident and all was as a result of that. But it's quite unfortunate that we have, intellectual theft in the industry. You've talked about monetization as well. I understand that, but I still want to take you up on the politicization. I know Kiss Daniel once tweeted about that, saying there was a cabal in the industry. That's less than 6 months ago. Is it, when you mean politicization, beyond issue of intellectual theft, top artists or A-rated artists trying to steal from the fast pricing and all of that? I'm looking at politicization from the aspect of, do you have a scenario wherein that certain producers who just want to work with a certain group of people who are at the top? You know, it's almost like a capitalist sort of way. Because what I'm asking is, going by what Kiss Daniel said, or the accusation he made, that there was a cabal in the industry and all, so sometimes they just try to, restrict the growth of others. Is that also the case for you?
Yeah, I think I understand what you said, because there's I know someone that, like, used to manage Kiss Daniel. She used to work for Jiwawa. She still works for Jiwawa. So probably why he would say that is because, like, the Nigerian industry, see, most times is either you have to be associated to a gang or something. See, that's why I said that, and it's true, because I've been around most of these guys. Is it that they're into something, like, is it that this person is in the same... I don't know. I don't want to put that. So that's the only way they work with you, and
so
it's true.
Clicks.
There are clicks here and there.
So
very true.
If you're affiliated with a certain clique that is not in good terms with the other clique, you can't even work with the artist if you want the person or something and all of that. Okay, I get that. That it's quite sad, but again, politics is virtually in everything.
Politics is virtually in every sector. But then, how have you been able to manage it and scale through? You mentioned you're someone that does not give up, that you're on people's necks every now and then. So, what has been your coping mechanism?
I always have a big dream that, like, I'm always someone that wants to achieve that thing.
Okay.
You see, if I'm not there, I won't stop. Like, it's just a drive I have. I don't know, like, how to explain it, but like, the more I feel, to me, the more I feel, the more you tell me, oh, bro, that song is not nice. I'm like, oh, it's not like I feel bad, dude. Before I used to feel bad, but now right now, I'm like, seriously, I want to work harder, like,
make it better.
Yeah. So like, I like people telling me pure truth. Like, I like hearing the facts about my music, not that you just come and listen to my music.
Have you genuinely had a song that you know that this song is not good at all?
Yeah, I've had songs like that.
So
many. When
what did you do? For the first time that happened, how did you feel? Like, for the first time someone told you.
They won't tell you.
Oh, they won't tell you.
You just have to play mind games with them.
But then you just said if they tell you your song is bad, or they will, you don't have to look for a way to make them say it.
Yeah.
But the first time you had to devise a means to make them say it, how did you feel?
Yeah, you feel a bit bad because they didn't tell you outrightly. If they had told you outrightly, there's a way you could
some people don't like to be told outright. They like, you sugarcoat it, it's okay, but you should have done it.
They are not ready to win.
What? Oh, okay. I think it's different personalities.
Okay, let's talk about your music now. I know you said you're working on an EP. You have Machiavelli out.
Yeah.
Similar to Machiavelli.
Yeah. That's the whole idea, though.
That was the whole idea. Okay, so what birthed Machiavelli? What was the inspiration behind it?
I think that I just got a lot of money, and I was so happy. I think that's why the chorus is money for my belly. You can see me on your telly, nothing go fit to tell me. Like, it was just me being bossy. Like, it's a bossy song. Like,
okay, let's just listen to the the song itself. We'll be right back after this short break.
Again. So now you want no problem. Swag that they come back again with the flow. That the girl is make them get low, my lady. Swag that they come back again with the flow. That the girl is make them get low, my lady. Me I no come here to bother. Me I just come here to bubble. Sipping on my heli, chilling on a daily. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Money for my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Now you see me on your telly. Money for my belly. Nothing go fit to tell me. Remember the days I get nothing. Some of the girls no call me, killer call me. Me I just want to come body. Make me no tell somebody. Wonder why she acting naughty. She just high off the Henny. Me I'm coming back again with the flow, and I'm giving them flex on a non-stop. Me I'm coming back again with the flow, giving them flex on a non-stop. But yeah, come to my side, oh. Give you loving when no go capside, oh. Give you loving when no go capside, oh. You chilling on better side, oh. Me I no come here to bother. Me I just come here to bubble. Sipping on my hell, chilling on a daily. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Now you see me and you're telling money for my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Now you see me and you're telling money for my belly. Nothing go fit to tell me. Running to 1 milli. Nothing go fit to tell me. Mogbono felly. Lifestyle on a jelly. Coming like I said me y'all do. Me I no go turn on light. I just wanna get the money on a daily. Niggas talking shit, but I don't feel nothing. Feeling kinda empty. Real bad bitch, right to the phone side. Come and chill with a real nigga on this side. Bad bitch, right to the post side. Come and chill with a real nigga on this side. Me I no come here to bother. Me I just come here to bubble. Sipping on my heli, chilling on a daily. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Now you see me and you're telling money for my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me. Chilling in my Machiavelli. Now you see me and you're telling money for my belly. Nothing go fit to tell me. Remember days I get nothing.
Glad to have you back on IBrandTV. We're still speaking with Nays, and he's been telling us about his journey, how it's been for him, some of the challenges he has encountered on the way, the persistence, the doggedness, and how he's able to pull through irrespective, acceptance from society, you know, acceptance from family, friends, parents, foreigners, Ghanaians, you know. So let's see why you're in the studio. So Nays, are you earlier on you mentioned the fact that as an independent artist, it's difficult for you because money, the financial constraint is a factor. So how would you want to be signed to a label to start with? Or rather, are you signed to a label to start with?
I have my own label.
You have your own label?
Like, I think that's the first thing for an artist to do. You need to, like, register your brand. So,
what if you don't have money?
And that's where your dad came in.
Yeah, you must find the money. Like, if not, people won't really take you seriously. You know, it's a business. It's not just about the music. So, I'm basically like this name of my brand.
That's the logo. That's your logo.
That's the how passionate. Like, I have it on my two hands. Like, do you understand?
I don't understand.
But like, I have an ideology behind it.
That's great. Let's hear it.
Like, basically, see, it's my left and right. It's my good, my bad. Like, that's how I take it. Like, my music basically is my life. So me seeing it on my skin is like pain. Like, the more I see it, like, the pain behind it makes me strive more. And like, you see, people always like, what is this? Like, no hype gang. Like, basically, I'm not someone big with hype. I like work. Like, I like to put in the work. I like the work. Yeah, do you understand? The work to talk for me than the hype. So I'm basically more about that.
But then you know my question is still hanging. If not gotten to, I'm asking you if you're currently signed to a record label. You said no. You have your own.
No, but I would like to be signed to a record label, but like a record label that has a vision.
But that talks of record label having to control the artist's life and
especially the creative process.
The creative process, and also the monetary aspect where you have some percentage that you're putting the work, but they are having a larger percentage and leaving you with probably something. And excuse me, and then they know you are the face, you are the one putting the work, and they are having to dictate where you go to, how much you earn, and how much you get. So it's not a problem for you.
For me, no, because I'm a very stubborn person, and
how stubborn can you
be? But I've been in the game for a while, so I know what I want. You can't just come and tell me.
But if they are a record label, they will obviously have to dictate for you at some point.
Because probably if you just started, I'm telling you, like, if they see that this guy is good, they're not going to say much.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure of that. Like, if they see that, like, this boy has a vision, like, he's hard, he knows what he's doing. The only thing he might probably do to you is like maybe help you with your styling, a bit of like him, but like the music, the creative part, I don't think they are meant
money part. Oh, okay. So how about the money part? I mean, how much you earn and how much you.
Well, they always have to get more.
Oh.
Because they have to money. Like, and they're actually going to push you. Like, if it's serious record label, they will put a lot of money. Because your first career, you really don't make money. Most of these artists, they don't make money. It's just the hype behind it. Yeah. So that hype is that hype that creates the money, not like the music at that moment. The hype brings the buzz, the people around to be attracted to you.
Okay, about contracts and you said you'd like to be signed to a record label at some point, or rather maybe have ship with another record label with yours. But I would like to get your thoughts regarding the recurring incident of artists clashing with his record label. You mentioned Kiss Daniel and J Worldwide before. What are the reasons behind that? What do you think brings about that breakup between an artist and the record label, and how do you think artists, especially fast rising, should approach record label signing so that they do not feel extremely?
You always have to have a lawyer, and probably the reasons why that happened with Kids, I'm probably sure maybe he didn't really have a lawyer.
Okay.
You see. And at the point of his career, he realized that he was making so much money, but he wasn't giving the same amount he was like getting from the audience and all that. Probably, and basically, I feel everything boils down to the monetary aspect. That's why any artist wants to leave his label. Probably he's demanding for an increase of his percentage, and maybe they are not giving him because of what he signed initially. Yeah. So basically, it might not even be the fault of the record label. Everybody wants to exploit somebody that doesn't really know what it's about. So that's why it's a business. That's why you have to come correct. You have to come registered with your lawyer. If you don't come like that, it's definitely sure they're going.
But in the place of milking the cow, should you also feed the cow fat so as to get enough
milk?
Yeah, true. But most times, we're in Nigeria. That's you have to think like a Nigerian. You're not out there that you can use your law or like to fight for your case. Oh yeah, like your money talks for you. Okay. You can't. Yeah.
All right. I wanted to just before I forget this, let's talk about quickly about your educational background. I know you mentioned you told your parents that school is not for you, and that you would rather have to do something else. So let's talk quickly about your educational background. How was schooling and having to do music? How were you able to merge it and be successful in it and graduate and at least make your father proud? I wanted you to at least go to school and do something.
It was stressful.
Because you didn't like school.
Yeah, but like I used to have, I have friends that are really smart. That's what I do. Like I stay close to people that.
To copy from them too. Okay, just.
But basically, I used to have smart friends that always like push our knees. We have this assignment to do. I know, like they always used to show me because like they believed in my music. So basically, I say mostly it was my friends that in school that really encouraged me, and I used to look up to I'm the firstborn, so when I see my siblings going further, I'm like, okay, you have to do something for yourself at least, so that I can
imagine.
And those are great friends you have there. Being on your neck, guy, there's an assignment you need to submit. This is the deadline and all of that. Not everyone has
the time to handle their own academic pursuit and also pushing someone else again. Most people wouldn't have that kind of time. I'm sure when you become rich and popular, you should call your friends together and give them some dollars. Okay.
So talking about your label, are you looking at adding 1 or 2 friends to it to form the gang in the real sense of the word?
Basically, his case is part of.
Oh, okay, your manager.
We don't know.
Your manager.
Your case is your manager.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay. How has working with your manager been like?
School, like we grew up together, so it's easier to communicate. So you understand. Like basically, it's not stressful. It's basically been a rough journey because we don't really have. I think everything boils down to the finances.
Yeah.
If there's money, I don't think I won't be heard. I'll be heard. I know. I'm very sure.
But not some people. Some persons want to choose, or for picking a manager, I want to pick someone who is more buoyant than they are financially. So, if both of you have had to go through those rough stages together, is it you didn't think you should have? Now, this is not a slander on the case, of course. I'm just saying it's a chat with you. Do you not think you should have at least picked someone who could assist when? A lot. He could assist in his way, but because money is a factor, we can't.
I've tried that before, but they'll always tell you have to pay. It's a business. Nobody's gonna look at you and say they'll do it for because they believe in you, or no. You always have to bring money to the table. So every time I try that with those people, it's either I get billings of like 5 million, and I'm not yet there.
How much are you making?
Jonathan, so that's why I sit down and think like. I'm not even really making money from this thing. So I think I just realized I have to grow with the people around.
People around you.
Yeah.
So you can trust, right?
Because Wizkid, I don't think Wizkid the manager was more richer than Wizkid. No. Every artist in Nigeria is the one that financed that music. The manager is just there to sign documents, but it's the artist, or he has a facilitator, or someone that is bringing the money.
Funds.
Yeah. So like I don't think any manager will just sign if they don't see, except he sees the vision and he wants to help genuinely. But like outrightly, just for you to make, you always have to bring money.
Talking about, because to manage an artist is a huge task, beyond getting shows and what have you. There's also the place of, having to have that hard talk, as they say sometimes. And considering Casey, yes, you guys grew up together, according to you, very good friends. Don't you think friendship comes in at some point where you probably need the hard truths to, you know, set you on the right path?
My friends, like the kind of friends I have, they will say it.
Okay.
They will say it.
And
Because me too, I'm like that. If you piss me off, I will say it. I won't say because you're my friend, I won't tell you. So, like, I'm sure they're going to tell me. Like, a lot of times, Casey told me, bro, this song is good, but, like, you need to work on this. I know it's the hard truth. It's painful to hear that sometimes, but, like, when you hear that, you know that, okay, yeah, with the right people.
Okay. But you say you're a stubborn person. Would you?
not like stubborn, but like.
Very stubborn.
You said
so. You listen.
I will listen because it's something I love. Like, I want to be at the top.
Okay. So you're someone else.
So that's why being opinionated,
yes.
you can still accommodate other opinions. Okay. Looking at it now, I mean, Vikavelli, it's been, you know, quite some time you released that. You said you're working on an EP. Before the EP, are we expecting a single?
Yeah, I already dropped 2 singles this year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're dropping things.
Yes, I have a lot of songs.
Wow.
Like, I always record if I see the opportunity.
Yeah, always recording.
Yeah.
That's really you're putting in the work.
Spend a lot of time in the studio.
But okay, you have 2 singles this year already. Are you looking at dropping a 3rd one before the EP? When is the EP dropping?
The EP, I don't have a set date, but I was thinking August. But like, I want to drop one more single.
August is about 6 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Or 5
so
weeks?
I already have like a distributor with the EP already. So we're just thinking of dropping one single to see how the EP
will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, that's what we're working on right now.
So if, just, you know, before you have the floor, if you're dropping the EP in about 5 weeks from now, and you want to drop a single, there should be like a date now so as to, you know, lead up to that.
That's why I said the EP is not yet certain. Yeah, because I just spoke to a few people like last year, and they were like, I should probably drop one more single and see how the buzz is. So like probably I just want to drop probably like a summer jam, something partyable. Yeah.
Okay, you don't love songs.
Because I mean, we had the song of the summer last year, Essence. According to just the.
But like, I think I'm gonna have a song like that. One, yo, that's mad.
Oh, okay.
I would like.
When he's saying the mad.
Nah.
It's mad.
That jam is mad.
Make everyone go mad.
I'm sure.
You're sure. Alright, you know, we've said a lot of things about the hard times.
Yeah.
Suffer ahead. Everybody is talking about suffer. But then, whatever has a bad part has a good part, you know. So, irrespective of all of these challenges, the financial constraint, the acceptance, societal acceptance, you know, all the stress and hustles and bustles you and your manager have to be going through all the time. What are those good times you look back and like, oh, it's worth it? And that, aside releasing your song, because you sound so passionate, but aside releasing your song, those times you're like, that means I'm doing the right thing. I look forward to when this happened because of my music. I met this person. What are those times for you?
Most of the time, maybe probably I'm in a show and I see the way people react towards, like, because I'm someone that is very energetic. So I think I had a show last week, and I think like the acceptance was very mad. Like I didn't believe like the way everybody was like, bro, you're hard. Like even other artists coming on stage will have to like pause for a minute and be, Anez, you're very hard. Like they just check me out.
That's great.
So like the more I see those things, the more I like, so I can actually do it.
Do this.
And the more reason why I keep going is because of my mom. She knows my lyrics. Like she's a very strong Christian woman, but like
sings along good. She knows the songs.
Like so, it's very like for my mom to be able to sing that, like someone old of that age. I'm like, anything is possible.
That's great.
That's quite encouraging.
Quite encouraging.
Your dad registered your mom.
The business. I mean, you're very blessed to have such parents who are going all out to support you, and we just have to congratulate them and give them their flowers as well, because we say it all the time that there should be adequate support from parents to children, as long as it's something legal in terms of that pursuit of dreams, it should be backed, and that's what your parents are doing. Congrats, by the way. But just before we let you go, you'll definitely freestyle for us. That's enough. You drop 16 bars. But I'll
always dropping 16 bars.
No, it says it's a rapper. Rappers are the ones who drop bars.
2 bars or 1 bar.
No, 2 bars just come on. 16 has to do. But before you rap or freestyle rather, let's look at what we should expect going forward. Yes, you've talked about the EP. Is an album coming maybe next year? Like, what are the other plans you have?
Probably I want to dive into directing my own videos. Like say I'm someone that likes to document my life. Yeah, so I want to dive into directing fashion basically.
Oh, great.
Yeah, most of that. Like I really want to broaden the art. Like I want to capture every part of the art. Like
that's great.
So, but then aside music, is there what if you were not doing music? Firstly, what did you study?
Business management.
Business management. Oh, okay. So if you're not doing music, what other career would you have? You would have picked up and you would have done?
Playing football. I swear. Like
you like football that much?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you support?
Chelsea.
Why? Why not supporting Arsenal?
Maybe because I grew up with everyone supporting Chelsea. So it just became a thing.
So you're really a footballer, but if you're not a footballer, what else would you have been?
I'd probably like to be a pilot.
you just keep I think you just drop his bars for us. Firstly, sorry, why did you choose? Did you choose Burna Boy as a role model because you like him, or you just realized the sound? It sounds you guys sound alike. Let me just get that.
His music just relates to me, like his behavior, like
his behavior. Okay.
Yeah, I like his personality.
Why did you love behavior?
Yeah, I like his personality.
Are you aware he's having the Cubana stuff?
I know.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I know it's a normal thing for him.
But then, did you intentionally try to sound like Burna Boy?
No.
And I know the music we listen to, you sounded so much like Burna.
No, like I was trying to find my own sound. People just come and tell me like, bro, you sound like him, and I think that thing happens when you listen to someone a lot.
Over time,
subconsciously, like it just happens. I wasn't trying to sound like him, but it just happened.
But you've heard that a lot, like you sound. Because that's the first thing I said when I listened to
I heard that a lot.
Nice. But it's beautiful. Your songs are amazing.
Have the floor. Yeah.
Okay, so then, how many bars do you want to do for us? Are you going to sing a love song for me, or are you doing a sister after him? But boy, it doesn't look like a lover boy to start. You look like a man of war, like.
So
but then
which is it gonna be?
Love song or
like just
no, it's okay to shank me. I understand. You probably want to go with the lady.
I won't lie, I don't really write love songs.
Okay. I said it. This is young, but I'm saying it doesn't look like someone that is a picture of love at all.
Okay, so you want to rap?
I could just do like some.
You have the floor.
But you don't have to put yourself under pressure. If you can do 16 bars, you can do 1 bar. Anything, just do something for us.
You have the floor.
Life no be rice and beans. Let me tell you where I've been. Looking at the TV screen, I can tell when the love is real or fake. Lord protect my step-ins. When I step in, attention is the general.
Okay. Is that one of your songs?
No.
How did you get that just now?
Like it's just my hair.
Just now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how it works in music?
No, like but as you told me like I was going to freestyle already.
Oh really? I was thinking this one of the songs you just. Oh really? I think that's nice.
Sometimes it works that way. You know, that those who are even better freestyle rappers than those who put pen to paper. They just rap based on things around them. It could be words. It could be anything. Try to play on it. They could create a story around it or satirize it. It's just part of the whole art itself.
Oh, so this is a freestyle. Do you want to do one of your songs for us? Without the beat.
Okay, one of your songs.
One of your songs. Any of the songs, anyway.
Swag that they come back again with the flow. That the girl is made a get low, my lady. Swag that they come back again with the flow. That the girl is made a get low. Me I no come here to bother. Me I just come here to bubble. Chilling in my Vika Valley. Now you see me in your telly. Money for my belly. Nothing you go fit to tell me.
Do you actually he actually does sound like Burna Boy.
It does.
Actually, like you, even with your music and in person, you actually do sound like Burna Boy. We appreciate you on the show today, and it's been. Before we go, I really don't want to let you go because it's been an amazing day. But where do you hope to see yourself, and what are the artists you want to work with? I know you mentioned Burna Boy too, but what are the artists you internationally, locally, and any of them? What and where would you want to see yourself in time to come?
Internationally, I think it's going to be Jay-Z.
Okay. I like that. Big dreams. Yeah.
Jay-Z or Nas. Like, I like people that are conscious.
Okay, Jay-Z or Nas. Okay.
Yeah, I like rappers like that. Okay. And Jay Badass, like I said, he's my favorite. But I don't think you guys know him.
How about locally?
Locally.
Me, I'm not a fan of rap, so
locally, I don't really like anybody locally.
Burna Boy.
In terms of
rap,
Oh, I mean music.
But like musically, it's only Burna Boy I see. And probably my friends, like me, people like that, like Westar 22.
Okay.
You mentioned Wonder Barton.
Yeah, Wonder Barton. Yeah, because I grew up watching him.
Okay.
Make music.
That's great. So before you tell us where you want to see yourself in the next 2, 3, 5 years, the Ancient Quarrel, West Side, East Side, Tupac, Biggie, who do you go for?
Put him on the spot, Samson.
I'm just asking.
But you have to pick it. But they'll call for him.
I think it's Biggie.
You think Biggie is better?
Yeah. No, not better, but like he's more artistic. See. Yeah.
More artistic?
Tupac is more about the lifestyle, like he lives. But Biggie, I think he can do anything. I'm sure Biggie can sing if he wants to. Yeah.
So based on we're talking rap.
Rap, but in general, I think Tupac is better. In rapping, Tupac is hard. Okay.
I mentioned that because you talked about you want conscious rappers, and you know quite well
Tupac is harder if he's rapping, but in the musical sense, I think Biggie.
Okay, but in terms of rap,
mad music.
In terms of rap, Tupac.
Yeah.
West Side's like that.
Alright, so just tell us where you hope to see yourself in the years to come.
I should have created my own lane in the music industry. Like, I'm not trying to be like anybody. I just want to have my own spot at the top.
I like that.
I like that. I like that. You know what he's saying? Just create your own. You don't have to be like anybody. All of the rivalries is not very important. Not important at all. But the sky is big for the birds, the plane, the witches. I want to fly. Just fly. You know. Well, thank you so much, Nate, for being on the show today. We appreciate you, and I hope the next time we see you, I hope I don't have to fill some forms to see you. No. A big celebrity. I'm like, I know you.
It's even like my first TV, so like that's why I told you I'm nervous. It's not like I'm just nervous. Like I'm just surprised that like I'm reaching this stage in all my career. You know, it's like a blessing for me. I always say like it's a blessing in disguise for me.
Thank you so much.
Because I never thought I'd be.
Definitely, you have more TV appearances, billboards, and what have you. Just keep doing what you're doing. And again, as I said, credit to mom and dad who are supporting you the best way they can. So you just put in the work, to complement their effort. And I'm rest assured, you'll be rocking the biggest stages in UK, US, and the rest of the world.
And trust me, just keep doing, like he had said already, keep doing what you're doing. Be dogged. I know you've mentioned your tenacity. It's something that would take you far and wide, and also the fact that the rivalries are not really important. Everyone has a slot, an opportunity to soar higher. And trust me, Nate, the sky is your starting point, because I would love to listen to your song in years to come. Like, I know him. I've shown pictures of we were together some years ago. I think, and a big kudos to your manager too. He's doing an amazing job managing someone like you that said he's very stubborn. Imagine that. Thank you so much. Nate, go quickly your social media handles in case you just want to see.
On Instagram is NAZENHG _. On Twitter is NAZE Naze _. On Facebook too, NAZE. So basically the same thing everywhere.
Alright, thank you, Nate. Beautiful sound, beautiful personality, amazing. You should look this guy up. Trust me, you have to look him up, because he's doing so much, and he needs the support as he can get. More interesting segments to come as we wrap up the show on IBrandTV this morning. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neil. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
The cosmetics and personal care industry globally generates an estimated annual turnover of around $400 billion over the last 20 years. In Nigeria, the beauty and personal care market could reach 3.2 billion euros by 2021, making Nigeria the rising star in sub-Saharan Africa. Products for hair and body care are predominant on the beauty market in sub-Saharan Africa, where face products and makeup remain marginal but have strong potential. Africa's largest economy clearly has a lot to offer. The Nigerian beauty and personal care market is currently worth more than $1.25 billion at retail and is forecast to reach more than $1.31 billion next year, according to Euromonitor International. It includes a wide range of products from skincare items to makeup and beauty items. These are items that predominantly appeal to women and men alike to purchase beauty products, even though men are interested in cosmetics. Nigeria has emerged as the investment destinations of choice to international firms aiming to capture the beauty and personal care market in the continent. The photography business is a very competitive industry. Every year, thousands of talented photo lovers consider turning their passion into a money-making business venture. Especially in a fiercely competitive marketplace like Nigeria, in which it is very easy for anyone to buy a digital camera and call themselves a professional photographer. According to some practitioners, a new photographer who wants a standard studio can start with a budget of 3.5 million naira. However, one can start with a lower budget of about 500,000 to 1 million naira depending on the tools and cost of rent. On the average, the cost of photography equipment is around 294,790 naira. However, the price ranges from around 41,000 naira to as high as 2.46 million naira. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people with a vibrant movie industry that produces 50 movies per week, generating annual revenue of approximately $590 million from between 2016 and 2021, helping the photography industry as a whole, according to a recent research by the UN.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on iBrandTV, where business comes first.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still live on Daybreak, and even as we coast home on the show today, we'll definitely keep you abreast of what's happening in the world of sports. I will start with a big one that we're expecting in November, talking about the FIFA World Cup taking place in Qatar. Remember, it's taking place against during the winter, which is November, December, as against the conventional summertime of June, July. The latest about the FIFA World Cup is that the governing body of football, that's the global governing body FIFA, has approved an increase in the squad list to 26 players, and that would include 11 players and 15 substitutes on the bench. This is good news for so many teams that have clamored for an increase in playing personnel. It also means that at every point in time, each team would have 15 players on the bench, with one of them being a medical personnel of the team. And this is the latest development building to the Qatar World Cup 2022. England's manager Gareth Southgate was at the forefront of this call, talking about having all the players, everyone in the team or in the squad, being available for match day selection. So this is good news for the teams going forward. Remember, Senegal against Netherlands will be the opening match and will be the first game when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. Now let's move away from there and talk about club football. Yes, it's all about Pogba, the Manchester United midfielder who is out of contract this summer. He has agreed a deal in principle with Juventus for a second stint at the Italian Giants, talking about the Allianz Stadium. And this time around, the fee is, it's a free transfer. So the bonus or the wages are yet to be disclosed in that sense. Papers are expected to be signed in the first week of July, where Pogba will complete his move back to Juventus. It will also be a reunion with Juventus coach Massimiliano Allegri, who tutored Pogba during his 4-year stint at the club, where they won several titles, including the Italian Serie A as well as the Coppa Italia. Still talking about football transfers, this time around, let's talk about England goalkeeper Nick Pope. Yes, the latest about him is the Newcastle United have completed a £10 million move for the goalkeeper from Burnley. Remember, Burnley got relegated from the Premier League last season. So Nick Pope is now the new goalkeeper for Newcastle United, and the rehabilitation job under Eddie Howe continues with the latest signing. He is Newcastle United's second summer signing when it comes to this transfer window, and they will be hoping to get more players, even as they hope to finish in the top half of the table next season, and possibly European football, talking about Europa Conference League football for next season. We'll wrap it up now with a bit of basketball, and that's about the NBA draft that took place at the wee hours of this morning. Paolo Banchero, beg your pardon, that's the former Duke player, was drafted as the #1 pick, and he went to Orlando Magic. Due to time constraints, we won't be able to bring you more of that, but you can rest assured you'll catch more of that on The Arena, which will take place by 1 p.m. Nigerian time. So do make it a date on The Arena by 1 p.m. and you get the best of basketball news, among others. That's about it in the world of sports. Margaret,
yes,
what's buzzing social media?
Yeah, social media. Organ harvesting is buzzing on social media. And on social media buzz now, we saw the issue with the former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Beatrice. They may face imprisonment if found guilty and convicted to maximum sentence under the United Kingdom's Modern Slavery Act 2015. The couple were arrested and charged with bringing a child to the UK for organ harvesting. They were consequently arraigned on Thursday before Oxbridge Magistrate Court. Now, the London Metropolitan Police said investigation was launched after after detectives were alerted to potential offences under modern slavery legislation in May 2022. Now, this law frowns at human trafficking, under which organ harvesting falls, and is punishable with maximum sentence to life imprisonment upon conviction. Now, while the police did not state the gender of the child, they said the child had been safeguarded and they are working closely with partners on continued support. We have a lot of reactions from the story, and one of the reactions, Dr. Chino, so that's the Apoko doctor, popular guy, says the former Deputy Senate President might be involved in organ trafficking. It's shocking that the former Deputy Senate President might be involved. It's shocking. Who else is? What will push humans to such levels of wickedness? The same Ekweremadu? Now that's the question. Osai Rufai, one of the the anchors on one of the major stations in
Yes.
Nigeria, says Ekwemadu's daughter needed a kidney. So that's the story.
Yep.
So he brought a 15-year-old homeless boy with illegally obtained passport, stating that the boy was 21. The boy was promised a better life. The former Deputy Senate President has been denied bail. Now, Dr. Digbo Awojide, that Ogbeni Digbo, says, per allegation, it's either Ike Ekwemadu, his wife, or one of their children has a medical condition, and they brought another person's child into the UK to harvest the organ and use them. Whatever it is, this is so shocking. The UK doesn't play with children. A lot of comments here. This one says, by Spot_Doctor2. In all this, I'm still confused. Ike Ekwemadu is a senator, Deputy Senate President. He could have easily gotten a kidney donor through the right channels here in Nigeria and done the transplant here in Nigeria. Why go through all the illegal pathways and disgrace himself? And the last comment from Toyosi Godwin says, that man was a Deputy Senate President. He could have pushed to build a world-class hospital in his state or something. But then, again, thinking about it, what would be worse? Because this kind of kidnap will not even be heard at all. Sad. We already mentioned this earlier in the show, paper review segment. Yep. You have the money to do this. You're a Deputy Senate President.
Go through the right channels.
Push for this could be done in Nigeria. You have to take someone else's child to safeguard your family member. Everyone has a right to live.
Now, you know, the funny thing is, I saw a letter online. It's viral as well. That is allegedly written by, or was allegedly written by the former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekwemadu himself, where he wrote to, you know, the hospital and all, stating that, okay, the child has been undergoing tests to confirm, you know, compatibility with, you know, his own daughter that needs it and all of that, and that he wrote to them ahead that they are coming. I think it was to a visa office or something like that. Again, all of these things are just sketchy details we're getting. The report is that based on the prosecutor's accounts, which Oseni Rufai, you know, tweeted about, that you've said, you mentioned one of the anchors on one of Nigeria's public, you know, stations or leading stations. It said the prosecutor's account is that the boy is 15, but the passport gotten for him states it was he's 21, and the passport was even illegally gotten. That in itself is, you know, a case. That's immigration fraud. That's a case on its own, talking about fake passport among others. Again, these are allegations. Then there's also the place of, you know, the whole organ harvesting and all. I really hope there's justice served. We've talked about this earlier on the show. I hope there's justice served, not just for the child involved, but also for, you know, every other person, because it's not looking good for us, really.
It's a shameful act, and we know we've mentioned this.
He has the money, he has the influence. He could have gotten, you know, through the right channels. You could write to hospitals, oh, okay, this is, you know, what you need, the organ you need for a transplant. Tests are carried out. Okay, can this match with this, you know?
You had to use someone else's child to be. Well,
it's sad, really, because if truly the child is 15, we're dealing with a minor, and that's child abuse. Again, that's, see, the case has different layers.
So much.
You know, it has different layers. There's the place of immigration fraud, fake passport and all. There's the place of organ harvesting. There's the place of, you know, child abuse, a minor and all of that. So it's multi-layered, and you just have to pick each case on its merit, you know, closing on one at a time. I really hope that this is sorted out. It could have written to a hospital, get, you know, the organ needed through the right source.
Yet another bad name for Nigeria. We hope we scale through this particular one, because we have
because
so
this
much.
is big, and it's a high-profile case.
Big. Well, what else is even involved? This is what we
That's
saw.
another thing. What else is
in
involved?
Pidgin, they will say now would they catch been thief, but then a lot of things could be there. Well, then we just hope we scale through this. Well, then, aside all of those things, it's been an amazing show. I'm sure, Samson, you had amazing time.
It's been great.
Speaking with Nay's amazing personality there.
Definitely.
That guy, what do you think about him? He is, I feel like he knows what he's doing.
What I like about him is, you know, his resolve. You know, he just has that utmost conviction in himself.
And he's
that
confident
is
too.
good enough that, you know, regardless of the challenges, he would, you know, overcome the hurdles. And that's what you need in life sometimes. Sometimes you need to be in quotes, you know, deaf to whatever the noise around you is, and just closing
on what you want
goals. And sometimes that's what life demands.
And then he mentioned he likes to work with some rappers. He mentioned rappers that are that's what he so what he used that sounds like, what did he say? Was it intentional, or Well,
he has friends that are intentional.
Yeah, no, we want to work with rappers that know what they are
conscious.
doing. Conscious.
Yes, in terms of social issues, social justice. Speaking out against social ills. We need everyone on ground to, speak out against the social ills we're facing. I think the most beautiful thing about his account or his story is his parent support. The immense support it's not something you see all the time, from this part of the world, especially when you want to do music or other jobs that are seemingly not good enough. So I think we have to give his parents credit as well. I will keep advocating that other parents should support their kids as well in their choice of career pursuits, as long as it's legal and they're not in any way bringing shame or disrepute to the family and the family name. Then you should support, your kids. Yeah,
well, that's it for the show this morning. Yep. We had an amazing show, leaving you with a quote from Oprah Winfrey. And the quote here says, "I believe that the only courage anybody ever needs is the courage to follow your own dreams." I believe the only courage you need is the courage to follow your own dream. Now, interestingly, how this relates to what we spoke about here.
Exactly.
He just told you how he was going to do whatever I wanted to do, irrespective of what people think. Oh, well, it's all, and everybody should have the courage to follow your dream, because nobody can pursue your dream as much as you can. You know what you're looking at, you know what you want to achieve, and it's self-explanatory. And
as they say, the Nigerian spirit,
we don't give up.
We do not give up. We're resilient people. We just keep pushing the boundaries till we can get to whatever limits there is, if there is any limit at all. And that's the the mindset one should have in one's life, that you keep pushing. There will be days that you're down, but you can rest assured there will be days that you're up as well. I mean, it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
The sun will definitely set, it certainly rise. It's what it is.
Something has said it all. It is what it is. Thank you so much for joining us from Monday up to date. Without you, there is no IBrand Daybreak. We appreciate your time. Please do well to always join us. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Like, comment. We want to hear from you. We would love to read your comments. We love to hear. Share, please do share. And do not forget IBrandTV for your one-stop TV station for every kind of business, politics, entertainment, sports news you need for your viewing pleasure. And to the production crew for making this a success from Monday till date. Thank you for holding it down for us. All our guests, we appreciate you. My name is Margaret Obarado. Have an amazing weekend.
I'm Samson Lady. Do have a great spot in the weekend.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's true unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, true unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
Through unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. Through unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores nationwide.
True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming True unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your True unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix True unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your True unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6396